There's a tractor that costs around 15 grand, and right at the loader it lifts more than double what the green machine lifts for the same money. That's not a brochure boast. It's printed on the manufacturer's own spec sheet, and the guy on the lot is trained to flip right past that page. Once you've seen the number, you can't unsee it. But the real reason he won't say it out loud is uglier than the price, and I'll get to it. Here's what took me a while to put together. This isn't one dealer being shady, it's the whole color game. You walk onto the lot already suspicious, you leave more suspicious, and you still can't name the trick. 3 things get kept off the table at the same time: the badge on the hood, the math on the loader, and who actually built the machine. And that last one is the part nobody on that lot wants living in your head. By the end, you'll know the exact spec that humiliates the premium badge, the avoid list with real recalls attached, the value picks I'd put my own money on, and the one secret about who builds these tractors that makes the entire price gap make sense. That secret is the payoff. Keep it in your back pocket, because everything points back to it. Start with the number on the sticker. Take a popular green subcompact, the 2025R, paired with its 120R loader. Lift it to full height, and at the pivot pin it carries about 803 pounds. Now park a Kioti CK2620 next to it with the Kale 4030 loader. Same horsepower class, right around 24.5. At that same pivot pin, it lifts about 1,835 pounds. That's more than double, for similar money or less. But pin numbers flatter everybody, so move the load out where you actually work, about 1.5 feet in front of the bucket. The green machine drops to roughly 553 pounds. The orange one is still hauling 1,310. Honestly, that gap is a round bale versus a couple sacks of feed. The 3-point hitch tells the same story. The Kioti picks up about 1,631 pounds at the arms. The green one, about 1,150. But here's the part the lot will never volunteer. At the power takeoff, on actual working horsepower, they're basically tied, around 18 and change apiece. So the premium you're paying isn't buying you more work, it's buying you paint. And paint isn't the secret. The secret is bigger, and it's getting closer. Now, before the green faithful fire up the comments, I'm not going to pretend the value brands are flawless, because that's exactly the lie the other side tells. So here's the honest avoid list, with receipts. The green camp had a real problem of its own. A brake linkage part, a front bell crank, could fail, and you'd lose braking. That's not a forum rumor. That's a federal recall covering almost 150,000 of those little compact tractors, the 1023E, the 1025R, and the 2025R. The filing lists one hospitalization, but the orange and red side has skeletons too. And I'll show you mine. A Mahindra subcompact, the Emax, got recalled because the fuel lines could crack and leak right next to a hot engine. That's a fire risk, on the exact kind of machine I'm telling you to look at. And Mahindra owners have a long-running gripe about hydraulic lines weeping from sloppy routing. That one is real, and I'm not going to bury it. Drop your color in the comments and tell me I'm wrong. I'll be in there. If you've made it this far, you already get what this channel is. It isn't the dealer's friend, and it isn't yours either if I start lying to you. It's the guy who reads the spec sheet so you don't get walked across the lot. Subscribe and stick around, because the next part is the one they really don't want loose. So here's the secret. You've been told these are rival companies fighting over your money. Some of them aren't even different machines. That orange Kioti is built by a Korean company called Daedong. And Daedong didn't just build Kioti. For years it built the compact tractors that wore a completely different American work brand badge, off the same line, in the same plant. Different sticker, different price, same iron underneath. And it goes further. Those friendly blue boomer subcompacts from the big red and white name, a lot of them are built by another Korean maker that sells the near identical machine under its own name for thousands less. And the green tractor you trust? Plenty of those little diesels were built by Yanmar in Japan. The same Yanmar quietly powering half the machines on that lot. So when the salesman won't mention the cheaper tractor, it isn't always loyalty, it's math. Dealers barely make a dime selling you the tractor itself. The real profit is parts and service for the next 20 years, plus the financing on the side. He can't service a brand he doesn't carry, so he has every reason in the world to keep that rebadge map out of your hands. That's the uglier reason I promised you at the start, but it still isn't the whole secret. Because there's one more number that decides whether you own a tractor or the tractor owns you. And it's a single horsepower line buried in the emissions code. Stay under about 25 horsepower and the machine skips the diesel particulate filter, the fluid tank, and the whole regen circus. That filter is the one that clogs and needs a cleaning that runs into 4 figures. That computer is the one that derates your engine in the middle of a field because a sensor decided to sulk. Slip under that line and you skip every bit of it. The value brands know exactly what they're doing. That's why so many of them sit right at 24 and change on purpose. People call that underpowered, but it's really a loophole, and it's completely legal. And this is where the green software fight matters, but only if I'm straight with you about it. The big lawsuits, the federal one, the $99 million settlement, those are about the large ag tractors and combines, not your little compact. So don't let anybody tell you your subcompact gets bricked by software, because that's an overclaim, and the spec nerds will eat you alive for repeating it. But it's the direction the green computer is heading. The value machine hands you a long powertrain warranty and an engine you can still wrench on in your own shop. That's the trade, and your call. So here's the move that saves you the most, the one I'd give my own brother. If you ever buy used, the single sticker that matters is the emissions tier. Under 25 horsepower before the filter, you can fix nearly anything yourself. Anything newer with a filter, ask for the regen history before you hand over a dime. Plug in a cheap code reader, and if it throws a code that starts with P, something like P2002, just walk. That one means the filter is already struggling, and that's a repair bill hiding inside a machine that looks clean in the photos. And the quiet reason the cheap iron lasts? Those little diesels are big engines dialed way down. A motor built to make a lot more, choked back to 24 horsepower, runs slower, runs cooler, and flat refuses to die. That's the buy-it-for-life machine the badge crowd swears can't exist. And yes, I realize I just spent 2 minutes half defending the brands I was warning you about. Both things are true at once. So the gap between the green sticker and the value sticker was never really about quality. It was about who knew where to look. You do now. You know the loader number, you know the badge map, you know the loophole, and you know the one code that means run. You walked onto that lot afraid of a $30,000 mistake. You're walking off knowing the exact spec the dealer hoped you'd never do the math on. That's the entire game. YouTube thinks you'll like one of these next videos, so go ahead and click it. And if you made it all the way to the end, you already know what to do. Subscribe,